This virus, it's caused a lot of anxiety, job-wise.
It's all done for a purpose anyway.
For a purpose.
All done for a purpose.
10, good 10, 20 years it's been planned for.
They're putting a stop and a disruption to everybody's fun, everyone's everyday life. That's what it's doing.
And it's working. Well, no,
it's working.
It's working for the ones that don't know what the truth is. But the ones who know what the truth is, it's okay. You're fine.
But you see, the problem is the majority don't know what the truth is. This is why it's working. Because the majority don't.
Otherwise it won't happen.
This is why this is working.
It'd be a big crowd of human beings putting their foot down, saying, no, that's it. End off. We know the government's done the virus. You bought out and everything. Now you know what? Stop it. We ain't kids.
Exactly.
But the thing is, they're going to carry on. 80% of the world are kids.
They're going to keep adding things on. The next thing's going to be they're going to attack food. Because if you notice, they're closing down food production warehouses slowly, bit by bit. They're going to start saying, oh, it's been contracted in the food now, so the food supplies are going to go short. You know that attack in Lebanon?
I think I heard about that.
Now, we're no firework, I'll tell you that now.
Was it planned?
You know what that's caused now? That's basically destroyed a food delivery connection, because food comes from Lebanon.
Oh, does it?
It's cut off a food connection.
They had to do that for a reason.
Lebanon's one of the big food distributors, one of the big lanes where food comes through.
But you only know that if you've done your research, bro.
Yeah.
Without the research, you wouldn't know. You'd be like, what's going on?
Now that they've done that now, it's pandemonium and things are shutting down in Lebanon. That's destroyed the food supply coming from there now.
Oh, God. Like, even like I'm saying, going far back before, like the 9/11, all that what's happened there.
Oh, yeah.
Very
planned.
innocent people passed away, like I say, planned and everything to cause a reason for other things to happen, you know.
What did that incite? What did 9/11 incite most of all? What was the whole agenda behind that? What did it cause people to feel? That attack?
Race?
Not just race. Yeah, that was one of them, but what was the main thing? Fear.
Fear.
How do you control people?
There you go.
Fear.
And by blowing that up, cause about fear.
You see, when that happened now, it took away a lot of colour and a lot of happiness in the world. The world changed forever. Everybody was walking around, fear for their lives, fearful to get on a plane and go on a holiday. That's what that was all about.
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if they, do something, to involving planes, you know. A massive plane crash and happen, and they're going to ban airlines for a while.
The Corona's already doing that.
Yeah.
Corona's already doing that. It's already killing off the airlines. Virgin Airlines gone bankrupt. And Richard Branson isn't doing anything to help. That's the mad thing. He's not doing nothing to help with the bailout, and he's the owner of Virgin. So that's how you know there's an agenda.
There you go.
How can you be the owner of Virgin and you see one of your sectors going down and you don't want to bail it out? You've got an agenda, mate. You're in on it as well.
See them there. People might reckon, they're rich, they've got everything, but they're the bad guys. Like I say, money in a good person's hand, they do good. But money in the bad person's hand, like money, they're very dangerous.
Tell ya.
This is why sometimes having too much money ain't good. Just living a comfortable life. Just appreciate what you got.
Appreciate what you got.
Happy got a nice family. God's given you another day to live.
Another day to live. That's the most important
decent
thing.
car that can take you A to B to work and that. Pay your bills and everything. And it's a good bit of food and everything. That's it. You need a nice, simple life. Don't matter if you got what Ferrari, Lamborghini, or
can't take it with you when you're dead.
There you go. Eating in a £1,000 restaurant. What's
End of the day, food's food. Doesn't matter what the price is.
There you go. I was actually watching this thing, this post on the Facebook. This woman, she's living off £20 worth of food a week. Oh, come on, that's good.
She's using her brain, that's why.
£20 to feed six of her children,
She's using her brain.
£20.
She's going to be fine when these food shortages happen. She's already planned for it, so that's good days.
There you go, she's got it all.
Yeah, she got it sussed.
Because the kids and the family used to having that same food for the whole week.
You see,
she could last for a couple of years for the same food.
That's another example of when I say, there's a difference between need and want.
There you go.
Big example right there.
Need and want.
Goes to show you do not need a lot. She's feeding, 6 kids?
Yeah, off £20.
Off £20. That's a massive example. You never need a lot.
No, need a lot.
It's your want that's making you spend so much. It's the want.
Them two words are confusing your mind.
Exactly.
You just need to choose the right one.
Choose the right one. Trust me.
You know, when that time comes when people are struggling for food, you might have £1 million in your bank account, but when there's food shortage, what are you going to do?
I know what's going to happen. You see all the allotments. That's why any allotment owners, they better guard their crops now, because what's going to happen is people are going to run up in the allotments and rob crops. Take carrots, potatoes, whatever they can take. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. It's going to be back to the good old days, the Hunger Games. You're gonna see on TV and on the internet people fighting over loaves of bread, the last loaf of bread in the supermarket. That's what you're gonna see.
We know it's gonna be a mad run, bro, because when it comes up to Black Friday sales, look what happens there over TVs. That's over TV. I'm talking about food, and this food's gonna be going crazy.
This is gonna be a winter like you've never seen before. This winter coming. This is just the calm before the storm. President Trump said it. He was in the presidential office in the White House, and this was in his first reign. He had all this team behind him, like medics, army guys and so forth, and he looked at all of them. Then he looked at the camera and said, "This is the calm before the storm." And everybody's been asking him, what did you mean by that? He still hasn't given an answer. All them years that he said that, but I think it's back in 2018 he said it. All these years he's still not given an answer to what he meant by that. But we're seeing now what he meant by that when he said this is the calm before the storm. Because he knew in his presidential reign what was going to come. And this is part of his presidential reign. You see, they know beforehand. They know. The guys that put them in place give them a script, and they know things that are going to take place during their time.
Even the government, like on the pyramid.
Yep.
The government and people like working class people at the bottom, the ones right at the top, we'll never see them.
Why is it all of a sudden now you've got Trump and Boris here putting masks on now when the epidemic was stronger and started in March? They weren't wearing them in March. Why are you just wearing them now in the summer? They know business is about to pick up. That's why. You wasn't wearing it in March when it was fatal. 900 are dead, 1,000 are dead. You couldn't see them dead in one. But all of a sudden, now that it's supposed to be dropping, it's going to rise again in the winter, but now that it's supposed to be dropping, now you're wearing the mask. Don't make any sense. So you're signalling that about to hit the fan.
This second wave, it's going to cause a lot of destruction, more job losses.
There's going to be even more. There's 1 million and there's more to come. 1 million gone already and there's more to come. This is going to kill off more of the elderly because they're going to be depressed in care homes and stuff. It's going to kill off the elderly.
But it'd be looking good for the government because they'll be clapping their hands because they don't pay the pensions and everything.
Yeah, it reaches their quota. You hit the nail on the head. That's the main thing.
Pensions.
Yeah, they don't want any more of that now.
Because obviously, when you pay your taxes for 30 odd years, you get given that retirement age and everything. The government's got to give it to you, regardless.
They don't want to deal with that. They want to dispose of you. You're not getting that off us. Die. It's not even a joke. I'm laughing. It's not even a joke.
And that's why the virus said they knew that the virus killed older people.
It's criminal.
There you go.
What they're doing is criminal. What they're doing to kids as well is inhumane. When the kids go back to school in the winter now, they're already doing it. They're locking them off in their own chalked off square in the playground, so they can't interact with each other, talk to each other or play with each other. What's that going to do to the kids? It's going to mess up their head.
Make them mad.
You're going to get a generation of youths now that are going to be even worse than the ones we have now. They're going to lose that human interaction and feeling. They're going to be like aliens. They're not going to know what to do. They're going to act out and they're going to do all sorts of madness.
Well, another thing, the government's going to flood the drugs into the world, make them more dopey, make them lazy.
Because you see, this whole thing is causing trauma to the little kids. That's what it's doing. It's causing trauma. Imagine being a kid growing up in this now, this weird. School is bad enough. As a kid, school is bad enough. Yeah. A lot of people don't like school. I never liked school. You didn't like school. It's bad enough, yeah, that children don't like school as it is already. But they're going to go to school and it's going to be like a prison. You're going to chalk them off. They can't talk to nobody. That's mad. You can't talk to your friends. You can't interact with your friends. You've got to go in a corner and be chalked off. That's mental.
And you get the ones who are right at the top here in this world that are enjoying their life.
In China, guess what they're doing in China? They've got them in different boxes. They've got to go in their box. It's like a plastic see-through thing. And they've got to go in there and stay in there. What are you doing to these kids? You've met them up.
And in China, as well as this dividing of the school kids in little boxes and everything as well, they'll come to a time they'll start killing people off though, because they're only allowed minimum people in their family anyway. They'll probably increase that as well.
But you know what the scary thing is? What's done in the East will eventually be done in the West. So you see them being boxed stuff like that in China. They'll bring it over here. Because remember when Corona started, yeah, the whole mask thing, yeah. Where did it originate? Where did this whole model come from? Came from China. We're doing the China model with all the mask and the separation. What's done in the East will come to the West. That's what happens. What they're doing to humans, it's ridiculous. You're gonna have a generation that's gonna be even worse than the one we have now, and the one we have now is bad.
Oh, yeah, very bad.
You're going to have a generation of mindless, inhumane youths growing up into adults.
People are going to get killed for the fun of it.
They're going to grow up now not knowing how to interact with another human. And what's that going to lead to?
The word we're looking for is they'll be isolated.
But ultimately, what's that going to lead to? That's going to lead to them fighting and killing each other because they don't know how to interact with another human.
And when there's no food around, they're
gonna grow up looking at another human as a danger. Yeah. Every human they come across is gonna be a danger because they don't know what it's like to interact. Madness. So a lot of things coming, mate. This ain't over.
This is gonna be.
They're letting you have your little bit of sun, your little bit of gym, your little bit of clothes shopping. Today they've opened up casinos and that again, innit? Bowling alleys today. So they're going to let you do your little gambling, your little 10-pin bowling. And then when the winter comes, the coughs and all that, okay, we're going to shut them all down again. You have to stay at home again. That's the truth.